The Union Cabinet today approved an attractive recruitment scheme for the Indian youth to serve in armed forces. The scheme is called as Agneepath, and the youth selected under the scheme will be known as Agniveers. Agneepath allows patriotic and motivated youth to serve in the armed forces for a period of 4 years. The Agneepath scheme has been designed to enable youth profile of the armed forces. It will provide an opportunity to the youth who may be keen to don the uniform by attracting young talent from the society who are more in tune with contemporary technological trends and plow back skilled, disciplined and motivated manpower into the society. As for the armed forces, it will enhance the youthful profile of the armed forces and provide a fresh leash of Josh and Jazba, while at the same time bring about a transformational shift towards more tech-savvy armed forces, which is indeed the need of the hour. It is envisaged that the average age profile of Indian armed forces would come down by about 4 to 5 years by implementation of this scheme. The national stands to immensely benefit by infusion of highly inspired youth with deeper understanding of self-discipline, diligence and focus, who would be adequately skilled and will be able to contribute in other sectors. The dividends of a short military service to the nation, society and the youth of the nation are immense. This includes inculcation of patriotism, teamwork, enhancement of physical fitness, ingrained loyalty for the country and availability of trained personnel to boost national security in times of external threats, internal threats and natural disasters. This is a major defense policy reform introduced by the government to usher in a new era of human resource policy of the three services. The policy, which comes into immediate effect, will hereafter govern the enrolment for the three services. Now, what are the benefits to the Agniveers? Agniveers will be given an attractive customized monthly package along with risk and hardship allowance as applicable in the three services. On completion of the engagement period of 4 years, Agniveers will be paid one-time Seva Nidhi package, which shall comprise their contribution towards accrued interest thereon and matching contribution from the government equal to the accumulated amount of their contribution, including the interest as shown in the next slide. The Seva Nidhi will be exempted from the income tax. There shall be no entitlement to gratuity or pensionary benefits. Agniveers will be provided non-contributory life insurance cover of 48 lakhs for the duration of their engagement period in the armed forces. During this period of service to the nation, the Agniveers will be imparted various military skills and experiences, discipline, physical fitness, leadership qualities, courage and patriotism. Post the stint of 4 years, the Agniveers will be infused into the civil society where they can contribute immensely towards the nation building process. A transformative reform of recruitment policy of the armed forces, a unique opportunity to the youth to serve the country and contribute to the nation building, armed forces profile to be youthful and dynamic, attractive financial packages for the Agniveers, opportunity for Agniveers to train in the best institutions and enhance their skills and qualifications, availability of well-disciplined and skilled youth with military ethos in civil society, adequate re-employment opportunities for those returning to society and who could emerge as a role model for the youth. Let's quickly look onto the terms and conditions. Under the Agnipath scheme, the Agniveers will be enrolled in the forces under respective service acts for a period of 4 years. They would be forming up a distinct rank in the armed forces, different from any other existing ranks. Upon the completion of 4 years of service, based on the organizational requirement of the policies, promulgations by the armed forces from time to time, Agniveers will be offered. The skills gained by each Agniveer will be recognized in a certificate to form part of his unique resume. Agniveers, on completion of the 4 years tenure in the prime of their youth, will be matured and self-disciplined with the realization to become a better version of himself/herself, both professionally and also personally. The avenues and opportunities that will open up for their progress in civil world after Agniveer tenure would certainly be a big plus towards the nation building. Moreover, the Seva Nidhi of the approximately 11.71 lakh would aid the Agniveer to pursue his/her future dreams without the financial pressures, which is normally the case for young people from the financially deprived strata of the society. The individuals selected for the enrollment in the armed forces regular cadre would be required to serve for a further engagement period of minimum 15 years and would be governed by existing terms and conditions of the service of a junior commissioned officer / other rank in the Indian Army and their equivalents in Indian Navy and Indian Air Force, and that of non-combatant enrolled in the Indian Air Force as amended from time to time. The scheme will lead to much more youthful and technically adept war-fighting forces for ensuring a fine balance between youthful and experienced personnel in the armed forces. The advantages are an opportunity to apply for permanent enrollment in the armed forces. These applications will be considered in the centralized manner based on objective criteria including performance during their 4 years engagement period, and up to 25% of each specified batch of Agniveers will be enrolled into the regular cadre of the armed forces. Probably a detailed guidelines on this will be issued separately. The enrollment will be undertaken through online centralized system for all the 3 services with specialized rallies and campus interviews from the recognized technical institutes such as ITIs and National Skill Qualification Framework, among others. Enrollment will be based on all India, all class basis, and eligible age will be in the range from 17.5 to 21 years. Agniveers will meet the medical eligibility conditions laid down for the enrollment in the armed forces as applicable to respective categories. The educational qualifications for Agniveers will remain as in vogue for the enrollment in various categories. For example, for entry into the general duty GD soldier, the education qualification is class 10 and like on. So that was a very quick introduction about the new scheme which has been announced by the cabinet today as Agneepath scheme.